So we've got two beakers here, one marked A and one marked B. The A is going to be for the acid, which is where the vinegar is going to go, and the B is going to go for the base, and that's where the sodium hydroxide is going to go. So go ahead and put 100 mils in each, please. So the sodium hydroxide goes in B. Now these beakers need to be clean and they need to be dry. If they're not dry, then that's going to change the concentration and we can't do that. So he's putting about 100 mils in. He's not being too accurate about it. It doesn't really matter exactly how much he takes. And he's going to do the same for the acid. Reese is going to clean out the burette now with DI water, so he's going to just squirt some into the top. He's not really concerned about how much he puts in, but you'll see that's what he's doing. And down below he's got a beaker there to collect it. And you can see it's just running into the beaker. So once that's run through, he'll do the other one. Okay, so go ahead and switch it to the other one, please, Reese. Turn off the, you turn off that one. No, turn off the thing, yeah, there we go. Okay, so go ahead and do the other one now, please. So he's not too concerned about how much he's putting in here, just enough to kind of rinse it out a bit. Now the next step will be to clean both burettes out with whatever we're going to put in them. Now the way they've got this set up is on the left they're going to have the acid and on the right they're going to have the base. So the good way to remember that is A, B, just alphabetical order. So now what Reese is going to do is he's going to add some A to the burette through the top. And again, he's not too concerned about how much he's adding. He's just going to put enough in there to kind of rinse it out a bit. And he's going to let it run through. And once he's let that run through, he's going to close off the burette. There we go, now it's closed. And now he's going to fill up the burette. No, go ahead, fill it up with the acid. So as a general rule, you can always clean something out with whatever you're going to put in it. Presently, he's just taking this up to just above the 0 mark on the burette. You can see he's using a little funnel. It's a good technique. Stop there. There we go. Alright, now what he's going to do is he's going to let it a little bit run out and he's going to leave it be somewhere between 0 and 3 on the top of the burette. Okay, we're not really concerned exactly about where it is within 0 and 3, but we will we'll look at that in a minute and we'll get a starting point on exactly where that is. Now he's going to do the same with the base. Go ahead and do the base. Notice he's just using a waste beaker here to collect. So he's opening up the burette. Now he's adding the base to the second one. Just to clean it out. And once it's drained through, he's going to turn that off. And he's going to pour that in until it's above 0 again on the top there. So now what's going to happen is that we're going to read the tops of those burettes and we'll find out. Would you run a little bit out of the second one, please, Reese? So it's between 0 and 3. You got that? Okay. Now we're going to read off what we see here on the burettes. So we've got both of the burettes here, and we're going to take the initial volume measurements, and I'm going to zoom in on the first one here. Now the important point to note about a burette is that there's 10 graduations between the big numbers that you'll see there, so between the 1 and the 2. The other thing about a burette is that you're not really measuring volume so much as empty space. So what we're actually going to do is get the initial volume measurement, and then we're going to let out a whole bunch of liquid, and then we're going to measure it again, and that empty space will be the amount of liquid that we've actually dispensed from the burette. Now, given that there are 10 graduations between the 1 and the 2, and we're measuring the bottom of the meniscus there, and you can see the bottom of the meniscus, I would say that that's somewhere between 1.6 and 1.7. You can see the 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. So we're looking at 1.6 and 1.7. I'd say 1.65 would be that first burette measurement. So looking at the other one, I'll move this over here. And we're going to do the same thing again on this one. Trying to get it focused. There we go. And you can see that that measurement there looks like it's between about, say, 1.2 and 1.3, and I'd say about 1.35. So we need 2 decimal places on these burette measurements. So this is actually our second titration, and what they've done is they've refilled it to the top there, and they've taken the things anywhere between 0 and 3, but they've already taken note of the starting points of both the acid and the base. So we're going to do this again. It's always good when you're doing the second titration to refill it rather than not refilling it. So I'm looking here and I'm wondering, it looks like there might be an air bubble in the one on the left here, on the acid one down the bottom. So what I want you to do is get your waste beaker and put that underneath and just run a little bit more in. Make sure you get rid of that air bubble. Just run in fairly quickly. Okay. All right, now make sure you take note of your starting point again. All right, so we're writing that down, replacing the value they had previously. Yeah, we can't have those. All right, go ahead and put your flask underneath again now. There, Erlenmeyer. There you go. All right, so he's going to run about 12 to 18 mils in there, so go ahead and run some acid in there. And we're not going to write down exactly how much we've added because we'll do all that at the end once we're done with all the titrating. Okay. So is that, well, add a bit more please, because you need to add between 12 and 18, I think. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Alright, go ahead now and put it on the other side. Have you added your phenolphthalein yet? Let's go ahead and add some phenolphthalein. Let's add more. We'll add more. I think about 5 drops would be good. Okay, that'll be fine. Now we're going to start adding the base to it. We're not going to be too concerned if we go over here because we are going to add some more acid to bring it back to colourless if that's the case. So go ahead and don't be too concerned about overshooting here. Yeah, keep going. So it's still colourless at this point. zoom in a bit. And you can see it turning pink where it's entering the solution. And as we get closer to the end point, that pink will persist just a little bit longer. Now we're getting fairly close to the end point here. As I said, we're not that concerned. Yeah, it looks like we've overshot. Yeah, that's okay. That's alright. So it's turned pink. So we're taking it back now to the acid side. And we're going to add some acid to it and try and get it back to colourless. Okay, stop there. We want to try and get it so that we're within a drop, so that we know that we don't have to add too much more base to get it back to the pink colour that we're looking for. Presently though, that's definitely overshot. So we're just adding acid now to try and bring it back to colourless. So we're just adding small amounts of drops here. Okay, now it looks like it's gone back to colourless. So we're going to take it back to the base now, and because we're very close to the end point, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, and we're going to use some techniques here just to try and just add one drop. So what Reese is going to try and do is put just a drop on the end, and he's going to rinse off the burette with a bit of water here. Okay, so just try adding one more drop. Alright, keep going. And at this point we're going to try and get to that end point. Shouldn't take too much more. Okay, that's good. Just leave it on the end. Leave it on the end now. Rinse it in. See, that's good technique. Alright, it's very close. Yeah, you can always get portions of a drop. That's good. Now just rinse it in with the water. So you'll notice the drop formed on the end, and then he just pushed it in with the DI water. We're very close to the end point here. Still colourless. Okay, try and keep your hand clear of the solution, Caleb, just by holding the top. Oh, that one's there. It's pretty close, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Alright, what I'd like you to do is take that out and put it in front of the camera. And let's see a little bit down here. So let's see if we can see the pink colour here. And you can see that. And that's not too bad. We might be able to get it a little better than that, but I think that would be acceptable. Go ahead and lift it up a bit, please. A little bit lower, there we go, there we go. That's the pink colour that we're looking for.